bottom of the lake and it's feeding 4 generators in that direction. That pipe, this room we're standing in, the ductwork above us is inside a 50-foot diameter tunnel. You can see the concrete lining right above us here. This original diversion tunnel that carried the Colorado River through this mountainside while we built this dam. And to build anything like this, you have to have a dry place to work. So the first thing you have to do is divert the river. Drill and blast these 4 diversion tunnels, 2 on each side. They're 50 feet in diameter, about 4,000 feet long. Then we built an upper coffer dam and a lower coffer dam to stop the river. That makes the water go through in these tunnels and on downstream. Once it's working, we can pump all this water out between our temporary dams, dig down 135 feet through the mud and silt to get the solid rock where we pour the concrete of this dam. Now, Hoover Dam is 726 feet tall, tallest dam in the world for 35 years. It's 660 feet big at the bottom, has 3.25 million yards of concrete in it. It took us 18 months to drill blast the tunnels and another 20 months to pour the concrete part of our dam. So our first 2 steps here took 3 years of the 5 years it took to build this. The next part was to get all these generators in so we get the water through the dam instead of just diverting it downstream. To make all this work, we had to go back and seal these tunnels off. So we closed the gates here at front. Then we put 400-foot concrete plugs inside these tunnels. And the front part of our tunnel system in yellow is sealed off forever. That part is underneath the lake and can't be used. The plugs let us use the back half of each one of these tunnels again. Saves us lots of time and money. Now, pour the dam, we pour these intakes at the same time. We take the water out right at the bottom of these towers, 300 feet deep in the lake. And it goes through 30-foot pipes and run down the inside of these 50-foot tunnels. We're standing right on top of the pipe at this location. Inside tower here goes through its own tunnel. That was 180 feet up above us. So we have an upper pipe and a lower pipe that branch off 13-foot pipes, spin the turbines, water exits out both sides, fills the basin, flows to the farms and cities. That's the #1 route for water through this dam. When we finished the dam, it took us 20 years to get all 17 of these generators in. It's a long, slow process. And until these were all in, we couldn't get enough water downstream for the farms and the cities. They can't survive down there without their water. So while we're building this dam, you have to be able to get that water downstream at the same time. So if we can't get it through the generators, what do? Each one of these big pipes that feeds those generators also goes on down and has 6 extra valves at the end of the pipe. So if we only want to use one of these generators, we can always open these up and let the rest of the water through these to maintain the flow downstream. That way the normal amount of water is going downstream during the entire time this dam is being built. That's necessary. Third route for water for the dam, the big spillways on the sides. These will protect the dam from any flooding. They work just like the overflow in your bathtub. These are a little bigger. These are 400 feet across. They're 27 feet below the top of this dam. So if this lake fills up too high in a big flood year, it's blowing into the basin on the sides here before it could ever get to the top of this dam. We carry the water from the basin with a 600-foot tunnel, goes down at a steep angle, connects up right behind the plug, channels all the extra water downstream, bypassing the dam completely. We've only had water go over these gates here twice in 70 years. First time was in 1983, or 1941. That's when we were filling the lake up. We had to test each one of these gates. There are 4 gates on each side here to make sure that they actually function. The other time was in 1983, and that was a big flood here in the Colorado River. Here's what it looked like. Here's our 4 gates. Each one's 100 feet wide, 16.5 feet tall. And we had 4.5 feet of water going over all 4 of these gates. The water was 7 feet from the top of the dam. I worked this summer walking across on the top. It looked like you'd almost touch that water. It was so close. Spectacular summer. You couldn't really touch it. It was 7 feet away. But this is what it looked like. If that water had come up 3 more feet, what would they have done? Can't let it get over the top. They don't even want to come closer than 5 feet to the top of the dam. If water starts coming up more, they just lower one of these gates a little bit more. If you lower the gate down a little bit, it'll let more water go around. It'll keep the water from coming up as much. So we can control the flow of this. That's what the gates are for. And that's why they build them that way. Now we're going to go see our generators next. Let me get through the group here. I'll lead us to our elevators. We're going to go see the power plant next. Follow me down the tunnel on the right side.